Good day everyone. So today I'll be discussing the data model that we've created using Power BI. To start it all off, this right here is the dataset that we've borrowed from Kaggle, and it's basically about medicine, and here it's different attributes. So for example, revenue, sales, and invoice state, company code, and so on. So the business process that we want to achieve using this dataset is to find out the purchasing of different pharmacies from different countries. So now we move on to Power BI. Let me just go to the query editor. Let's start from the beginning. So once we've checked out our dataset, we then transfer it to Power BI. And once we've transferred it to Power BI, all of this right here um, will be the same. So we're going to exit that out. Will be the same in this query editor. However, this one, I've already edited out some of the attributes and created their own table. That's why it looks like this. It looks quite different from the previous CSV file. So what I've done is separate the different attributes. For example, originally in the default table, there was a generic name, brand name, company name, and disease medical use, excluding this medicine ID. It was included in the default table, but however, I've removed them in this table, and the reason why is because this table right here will be our fact table. So as you can see, it is renamed to revenue fact, and right here, the only relationship between medicine, the dimension medicine table, and the revenue fact table is this one attribute right here. So what I've done is created or transferred the four attributes: the generic name, brand name, company name, and disease medical use, and created this new column called the medicine ID. So these numbers will be their ID of these four attributes. So what I've done is duplicate this one right here, the medicine ID, into the fact table. Actually, not duplicate. I've set a this one, merge queries. I've merged the queries of this medicine ID to the revenue fact table, and once I've merged those queries, this one will appear in the fact table. This will serve as our relationship with the dimension medicine table. So next we move on to the dimension country. So basically what I've done, the process that I've done for the dimension medicine table is the same as dimension country, dimension plant, external agent, and company code. The only different one is this one, the dimension date table. So what I've done for this dimension date table is borrow a set of codes, and after inputting these codes, I input a start date and an end date. So the way to find out which proper date we need to use is we head back to the fact table, and as you can see in the invoice date, the year, it is set on a yearly basis. So in this case, it is set at the year 2015. So what I've done is input the start date of we'll start at January 2015, and the end date at December 2015. So once I've invoked those dates and codes, we will get this dimension table. So I just rename it to the dimension date, and this is what it looks like. This dimension months should be set right here, because it's just the same as these different dimension tables. So once we've done those, once we've separated those attributes from the fact table, and once we're satisfied with our fact table and the dimension tables, we hit close and apply. But in this case, I'll just hit exit because I've already finished this part. So now we move on to our model. This one right here is a star schema model. As you can see, each of the dimension tables have their own relationships. So for example, let's go here. Dimension medicine. As I've said previously, the relationship between the dimension table of medicine and the revenue fact table is the medicine ID. As you can see right here, medicine ID is related to the dimension table of medicine to the medicine ID. So just to double check that our relationships with the fact table works, we head on to the visualization in our report tab. So as you can see, I've already set up a 3 different visualizations right here. So we'll start off with the total revenue by brand. Let me just discard this. Actually, just don't mind it. So what I've done is create a visualization with the stack bar chart. So first, we select the attributes that we want to visualize, in this case, revenue and brand name. Once we've hit that and select our type of visualization, which I've used is stack bar chart, this will appear. Well, not exactly, because I've edited some of the, for example, the font size, the data labels, and the title, but overall, this will appear. So to find out the total, because these data labels are rounded off to millions, to see the total, we just hover over the bar. So for example, Lyrica, the highest, the brand with the highest revenue is at about $350,893,500 and for example, another one, Nexium, is about 66,004,440 US dollars. So we just hover over the different bars to check out the total amount of revenue. So that's about it for the revenue visualization. Next, we move on to a little more advanced visualization. So what I've done is 2 pairs of visualizations. For the first one, it's just a simple table showing the different attributes. So I've selected sales quantity and invoice date from the fact table, and the generic name from the dimension medicine table again. So what I've done right here is include an invoice date, just because I want more information about the generic name and its sales quantity. So what I've done as well is create another visualization, which is a pie chart. The reason why I've done this is because I want to visualize what the sales quantity actually looks like, and as you can see right here, there are multiple duplicates. For example, Pregabalin has 3 different sales quantities. The reason why is because they have different invoice dates, and that makes it harder to visualize, because it has this single generic name has different quantities. So I want to visualize what it looks like when we've summed up all of the sales of this generic name. That is where the pie chart comes in. So for example, this one right here is the total sales quantity of the generic name, which is Pregabalin. So the total sales quantity is about 701,787 sales quantity. That's the sales quantity of the generic name at about 41.58%, which is quite big, because it's almost half of all of the other generic names. So as you can see, when you try and visualize these individual sales quantities, it's really hard. But once we've summed that up and created a pie chart, it's much easier to visualize. So that's the importance of the pie chart, to make it easier to understand how much of an how much of the sales quantity there actually is. And as you can see, once I click the generic name, which is the blue portion of the pie chart, we have the total of 701,000. And as you can see, it is the same here, same as the one in this table. So there are others like this one. For example, we have insulin at about 350,000, same right here, and about 20%. So this is the importance of the pie chart. Next, we move on to shipping, the shipping visualization. This one is a bit more complex compared to the others, because what I've done is included both of the revenue and sales from the previous visualizations, but I've also included the ship to country attribute. And the reason why I've included that, because I want to visualize which part of the map they actually are, where they are actually located. For example, we have right here Romania. We have Romania, and we hover over it, and it shows the brand name Atripla, with a sales quantity of 729 and a revenue at about 196,101. So that's the importance of the map. Basically, for example, I want to find the wait brand sold in the Philippines. I want to hover, or actually, for example, let me just show you why some of the bubbles have whole colors and some have uh, different different slices. The reason why is because these slices represent the different brands. So for example, I hover over this one. It is Nexium, located in Philippines, Copaxone, Anbrel, Lantus, and Lantus Solo Star. So that is why some of the bubbles have different slices. So um, these bubbles represent the location of the different brands that have been sold to different countries. So I've already shown you Romania, so let's try out Philippines right here. So let's see Nexium. Nexium has sold over 171 of its product, and has gained gained their revenue at about 62,586. So that's basically what the visualization represents. It shows you the map of where the different brands have been sold, as well as including the sales quantity and the revenue of that certain brand. And that's about it for the different visualizations, and thank you for watching.